Hey y'all, welcome. Today is day 20 of KEISHUARY. If you guys have been here, then you know we've been going live stream at 7:30, 7 o'clock, depending on who our guest is. I'm super excited about today's conversation because we're talking about adulting with two of my faves from Jersey, my people, my friends, and you guys are gonna get to meet them today. So without further ado, share this live out, and I'm gonna invite our guest. Naya. Y'all say hey to Naya. And S, which he put his name as Your Highness, but his name
This is crazy.
S.
Hold on, it's a problem. Y'all good?
Don't start S. Do not start.
All right, then we good. We good, right? Night, we good?
We straight.
All right. Don't piss me off.
Don't mind S, y'all. Here he go. Okay. I'm supposed to be going live on Instagram as well. Let's see if it's working. Can y'all check the Instagram to go see if we are live right now on my page? Because it's saying that we are live, but I don't see it.
No, I don't see anything.
You don't see nothing, right?
Not on your page.
Let me see. If you need to change, remove this destination. All right, y'all. Hold on. Sorry. Technical difficulties.
The link you gave us, we could send that link for other people to watch it.
Yeah, we can definitely. You can do that. I'm just gonna try to add the Instagram live because I know there's people on Instagram that want to join. Let me see. Okay, bear with us, y'all. How's everybody feeling? What's the scale today? 1 to 10. How we feeling?
Blessed.
Blessed. I'm saying the same thing. That's how you feeling. You ain't saying nothing. Don't be quiet now.
All right. I think I'm waiting for a check.
A check from who?
Wage garnishment.
What are you talking about?
You know, S is a slumlord.
Oh my goodness. Is it live now? Are you seeing it?
Hold on.
What you were saying, S? Sorry, I'm just trying to navigate. I don't know what's happening.
Waiting for my check.
You waiting for your check? What happened with this is a part of adulting. Today, our discussion is about adulting. So tell us, tell the people, you a landlord, tell them.
Yeah, I'm a landlord. I'm one of the best landlords that's around. You know what I mean? We're gonna have some rental properties for y'all in the next year or so, man. We're going to get y'all out there. I know they kind of killing y'all with the prices and stuff like that, but God gave me to save the day. He told me to save his people, so that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna have some studios. I'm gonna have some bedrooms by the boiler. We're gonna have some in the basement. Yeah, man. So just like come to Spalding Classic. Sign up, have your applications in, and yeah, we're gonna get you situated.
All right, we are live on Instagram. As we don't know what you're talking about. They don't know where you're located. They don't what?
Oh, I'm in Patterson, man. I know a lot of y'all. They driving the rent up crazy, man. So just come holler at your boy, man. We're gonna find you a nice placement.
All
right. So we might have you in the garage. We might, like I said, we might have you by the boiler. You know what I mean? But we know we're gonna find you something. And we're gonna charge you too, baby.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That's great advertisement. Yeah. Why don't we do intros if people don't know who y'all are? Just quickly tell them your name, where you're from, and what you do.
My name is Naya. I am recently joining the 30 Club. I know that's crazy. 30 years old. I am from New Jersey. Mm-hmm. Keisha is my former roommate, college roommate.
Yes.
And I am a veterinary technician.
Y'all heard that. Yup. You want to tell them what you just got? You recently got what you now you got some credentials behind the name, honey.
So my title is a CVT, a certified veterinary technician. So I just
Mhm.
passed my licensing exam. So now I'm licensed to work on your little fur babies.
We love that. We love that. Black excellence, y'all. We love that.
Love that, Naya.
What?
Said we love.
We
What'd you
do.
say?
He said we love
We
that.
said we love that. We love that for you, Black Queen.
We do. We do.
What you do,
Yeah. Introduce yourself.
Terrell?
Oh well, y'all know I'm Terrell. But my name is Your Highness. Y'all can address me as Your Highness tonight, or Your Majesty.
Oh,
Either or, it don't really matter. I'm originally from Connecticut, but I had to come to Jersey. I had to bless Jersey. I'm a compliance audit supervisor. Um, I know, I went to. I ain't go to school with Keisha. She left before I got there.
I did.
When I took over, but I went to school with Naya. And I play basketball, and I'm just chilling. Taking one day at a time.
We love that. Thank you, S, for sharing. Black excellence. He also is a landlord, like he said before. Um, Today's conversation is going to be about adulting. Okay, Naya is new into her 30s. S is all the way up there in the 30s, and I'm getting there. I'm in the beginning stages, going into the middle. So
Yo, homie, are you good?
I think me and S are the same. Okay, I think me and S are the same. But we're just going to talk about adulting and things that may have caught us by surprise. So let's start the conversation with that. Let's talk about what may have caught you by surprise that you just did not know in this ghetto. It's ghetto there. It's ghetto there for sure. Who wants to go first? Okay, lighting. I see you now with the lighting.
I was like, I'm looking at dry, little sunshine there.
Okay.
What caught me by surprise?
Yeah.
Caught me by surprise. Honestly, I feel like just the era of life that we're in right now. Because I just feel like adulting 20 years ago is not adulting now. Like I feel like what people were doing as adults 20 years ago worked. And like now I just feel like just the state of everything, like expenses, bills, car insurance, car notes, like everything, gas. So like it's just like everything is so expensive. So I feel like managing, I guess, your money and just kind of like
Ooh, child.
being responsible with your money. Like
Right.
I just feel like what worked for like our not even our parents, but like maybe the the generation right above us, like the people that's like 40, 45s. Like I feel like when they was in their 20s, it wasn't this hard.
Facts. I definitely feel like we are living in different times. Like even,
Yes.
even I feel like things are going slow, even for like what was that? What something I just saw on the internet the other day. This meme, this woman who was basically having her first baby at 42. And she was like, I'm gonna be at the hey Michelle, welcome, welcome. She was like, basically, she gonna be at the baby's games. Like they're gonna be like, what's your grandma doing here? And she's gonna be like, no, I'm the mom. Like, I just feel like it's just so much different, like you said, right? Like things are just taking, I feel like they're harder and they're taking a longer time to do if we decide to do them. Um, and I also think that we had an interesting dynamic with the pandemic. I feel like I don't want to say we lost years, but we definitely, I feel like I jumped to, I jumped to 30. I started the pandemic, I think I was 27. And when I got out, I was 30. I was like, wait, what's happening? Wait, I didn't get to finish the rest. So I definitely agree with that for sure. S, what do you think?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think anything really caught me by surprise.
Okay. All right.
I was always kind of aware of my surroundings or what was going on in the world. Um, for me being in college, I kind of already knew what I was as soon as I got done, what I was going to try to achieve.
Mm.
Um, so it didn't really catch me by surprise. Now, I agree with Naya when you talk about adulting as the finances and trying to manage that, trying to budget, just trying to make it. It's tough out here.
Yeah, I just think it wasn't like the cost of living, everything. It just wasn't this bad. Like I feel like I feel like this day and age it's almost impossible to do it on your own. Like most people I know, if they're not married, they're roommates. Like it's very slim and far where you find someone single who is paying market rent,
Right.
paying a car note, paying car insurance, paying for their livelihood. Like it's very slim of the people that I know that is just actually doing all those things without help. Like I feel like it's not to say it's not impossible, but it's just the percentage of people that's doing it on their own without any type of assistance is slim. And I feel like that wasn't the case. Like I feel like growing up, it didn't look that hard. Like you grow up, you went to college, you moved out, you got an apartment, like it seemed very like, oh, okay, I can do that.
Right.
Yeah. It's the American dream now is pretty much done with, which is buy a house. Now seriously, buy a house, have a family. It's like I'm always looking on like properties that maybe I can invest. The shit that they want now is like half a mil. And then now dating ain't even about love anymore. You don't make enough to be on your own. You don't.
Right.
Like,
right. It's about survival.
It's about survival. Like, forget this, I'm this, and no, you need a partner or you're one slip and fall away from being homeless. I'm being honest. You don't make enough to be out on your own. So, I mean, it's tough out here. Like, it's really like inflation has grown and wages have kind of stayed the same almost.
Right.
And it's now like when people talk about my grandfather, my father was a provider, they will be in a 1-bedroom or in a car right now. If they wife left them. I'm being honest. Like us compared to them, they wouldn't have made it. Now it's crazy. A 1-bedroom, maybe $2,000 and up.
Definitely.
You're talking about where $100,000 at one point was like money. That it ain't nothing around this tri-state area. So we actually need to commend people that's making it on their own out here. Your grandfather ain't got nothing on me. I'm being honest. Your father, he paid all the bills on a $50,000 salary. That is nice. But he tried that now? Boy, be in a room.
So what's the not married, so she could attest to this, but what is the advice? Do you think that people should be I feel like a lot of people are moving back home too. That's another thing too. They're moving.
Ain't got no choice.
Yeah.
It's tough out here. You ain't got no that you ain't, if you have that luxury when your parents will let you back in, please go back in. Like you don't have to prove to nobody that you have I got my own place. Stop trying to
also even like even the norm of people like moving out after college, 21. People is moving out 29, 30. Like people aren't moving out. Like I feel like before, again, when I was younger, I'll see my younger cousins, they're like 22, 23. They're out in their apartments doing it.
Yeah.
If I didn't get married, I'd still be at home, quite honestly. And I stayed at home until I was 26.
Right.
And that's only because I got married. That was the only reason. Like if it wasn't that, me and my mama would still be besties.
Locked in.
Right.
Ain't no
for me, like when I got to college, I went back home too, but it was to go back home to like, all right, you want to go buy a house, I'm going back home. I'm gonna pay a little something rent here, but I'm saving to get a home. And I bought right before COVID, right before shit went crazy.
Right.
So that kind of set me up kind of like years ahead. But now, you have to move back home or you have to find a partner. Your partner is your husband. And vice versa for men. If you don't make enough, you need to find a wife. Just to make it serious. A woman need to find a man, and a man need to find because you're still roommates at the end of the day, or unless you're going back home. So it ain't about love no more out here. It's about help. You one slip and fall. No, seriously, you lose your job and you out on your own and you can't work no more. You can't pay that rent no more. You're not working. At least you got a husband or a wife that can hold it down till you get back on your feet. I'm being serious. So people out here dating for love, you gotta be dating so you got a roof over your head.
You can still include love in the equation.
Okay, that's good. That's about 30%.
I will say that
70% is survival.
I will say I agree with you in the way that the system is set up. Like even now, I'm learning a lot about taxes and stuff. The way the system is set up, if you don't have no kids and you're not married,
you're done.
The odds are against you. Like, and they should teach us this. Honestly, they should be teaching us this in school. They literally set the system up. I live in Massachusetts, so I could talk about Massachusetts tax and stuff like that. But like, they set it up so that the only way you really gonna benefit and like really tap in tax season is if you're married, right? Even for real estate, if you're married, and if you got kids. If you are single out here, child, you're gonna end up owing, or you're gonna get like a little refund of $100, maybe $200, maybe.
I just did my taxes. The only reason I got a refund because I got a house.
That part.
Other than that, I ain't got no kids, and I make pretty good money. They was about to
crack your head open.
They was about to what? Vaseline. Yeah. That's the only reason why I got a little refund check. Other than that, they were slaughtering me.
No, seriously. Yeah. So
anybody out there that we gonna go have on the baby, you know what I mean?
What are you talking about right now?
Got a little check. Man, all at me. Nah, you actually owe, so let me go on mute.
Okay. All right. So you guys can expect to get shenanigans from S throughout the night because that's just how he do. He play all day. Let's dive into family. Like what is different about being, I feel like, adulting and having your parents versus like when you're leaning on them or you're in college or you're in high school? I feel like, what is the realization that happens when you realize like, dang, I'm adulting and my parents are also getting older? So like not only you are getting older, but now your parent, what do you guys feel like the dynamic is? Like, do you feel like there's a shift now that you are, paying your own bills, mind your own business? You know what I'm saying? Like, and you kind of, are you checking in with your parents?
I would say that in my family, like this is in my close proximity family, we don't have a lot of kids in our family. Like we just recently started getting kids in our family. So for the longest, me and my cousin were the only kids in the family. So now that we're grown, it's like, all right, like even I feel like in some certain family member eyes, we're still like the kids of the family. Because like I said, a lot of people just didn't have a lot of kids. So like right now, we started having, there's kids in the family, but they're all like 2. So from 2 to 30. So it was no in between in regards to like other children. So I feel like in regards to the family dynamic of becoming an adult, or that transition over from I'm not a child anymore, I'm an adult, I feel like for some people or just for certain relationships, you have to like learn how to, I guess, set healthy boundaries. Because it's just like, the way, you might have gotten away with, speaking a little crazy. It don't work when you're 30. It worked when I was 16 and it was just like, all right, stay in a child's place. But at this point, I'm married, I'm on my own, I got a husband. I think kind of just setting healthy boundaries between family members, your aunts, your uncles, your parents. Because again, now we're peers. It's not even like, okay, you're a child, I'm an adult. Now we're both adults. So it's just like, treat me as such or respect me as such, or, expect of me as such, versus I know in your eyes, or, I am the child. But again, married, out the house, living on my own, got a job. So it's just like, I think for family, I think setting healthy boundaries is a big shift in just in regards to not being a child anymore. And I would say with your parents, I think me and my mother, I'm very thankful for our relationship. I think, I'm very blessed because I've seen, estranged relationships between children and their parents. And I am super blessed in that category in regards to me and my mother never was estranged. We never had any moments of long not speaking. Like me and her are pretty locked in. So it wasn't really a big adjustment for like mother to daughter, like transitioning from like acknowledging that I'm adult versus, not a child anymore. I think it was a pretty like a seamless transition. Like even when I got married, she kind of got on board, like kind of saying like, all right, little girl, like my mother calls me little girl. It's like, all right, little girl, like you married now, like you somebody's wife. Like, so she kind of just went with the flow. Like it was never really a battle or like a awkward moment of I'm no longer a child versus I'm an adult. It was very seamless in that aspect. So
I'm on mute. I was like, I love that. That's healthy. I think that's how the transition is supposed to go, right? Like they know what's going to happen. You know what's happening, right? Like don't make this awkward. Just let me go and let me go in a way where we can still be have a conversation, have communication, and function as mother and daughter. But like there is a shift, and I think when you have a great parent, it's an easier shift than for other people.
I think I'm an only child, so I feel like the only difficulties that I had with my mother was I just feel like was typical like only child things. Like in college, she used to be blowing up my phone or stuff like that. So it's just like I feel like that was probably a tough time for her realizing like, all right, she's not a little girl no more. Like she can go out and do these things and like she doesn't necessarily need to ask for permission. So maybe like in college it was like a little like just like, all right, back off. But in regards to like actually adulting, like I left the home and started living on my own. That was seamless.
I love that. Thank you for sharing, Naya. I'm interested to hear your perspective, especially since you're a man, so it's going to be a little different.
Oh, it's the for me, listen to Nye, it's the complete opposite. My family is completely different. Like they're brutally honest, or they just speak their mind. So I have to check that because now when you reach a certain age, they're looking at, okay, when is the wife, when is the kids coming? Like they all off the rip, like what we doing? And I think I have felt that pressure maybe the last 3 years. And I had to check. I ain't gonna lie, I had to check my grandmother and my mother. You know what I mean? I had to check them because how their personality, they're strong.
Grandma and mom, you check the
Yeah, I had to check both of them because they would check you without pulling you aside. It's just like an open rebuke for them, So I'm like hold, come up, hold up, like I know I'm still y'all little baby boy, but we ain't gonna do this like this, like, So but nah, like as you get older, it gets more pressure. Like to whom, you ever heard the Bible verse, to whom much is given, much is required? I feel like that with age. Like the older you get, much stuff gets lessened. It's just like, all right, whatever. But yeah, it's been tough. Especially because they don't see you as a grown person anymore. They see you as you my grandson. I changed your diapers. I did this, I did that. So now you have to kind of check stuff, but in a nice way where you don't, because anything you say is that you're rude and you disrespectful now. When you try to stand up for yourself. So yeah, it's kind of, I wouldn't say weird, but I think it has to be, you have to talk about it because I'm not
You
your
have
little
to
baby.
set
You could
boundaries.
just say
That's what
anything
it
to
is.
me anymore.
You
Yeah,
have to set boundaries.
yeah, I got
It-
feelings too, just like you got feelings.
Yeah.
So you know, if I don't want to be, I don't want to be disrespectful to you, and you shouldn't be disrespectful to me. You know what I mean? So I mean that's kind of how I kind of navigate it. Is just you have to nip stuff in the bud before
Yeah.
stuff getting out of hand. 'Cause people think they could talk to you anyway, anyhow, anywhere. They don't care who. Nah, we're not doing it.
Yeah. I think reminding them too that they, you know, they were once a child turning into adult too, right? Like you don't want nobody talking to you this way. And you grown. And I'm grown too, right? So I think it's uncomfortable. It could be uncomfortable, especially if you have a family that's very honest and direct. I have a similar family
Yeah.
where we don't sugarcoat nothing. Um, but it's necessary. It's necessary for our growth. Like it's necessary for us to like, okay, this is how I know I'm adult versus me being maybe if I was a child, I would, you know, I would act out or I would, ignore the person or block the person or never communicate again, things like that, right? Versus now you're like, okay, family, I'm in the space with you. So let's nip this in the bud. And I think ultimately, even though it's hard, like they have respect for you. They end up like,
I
okay,
respect it. Yeah, yeah.
you gotta
'Cause
respect
my family, it's a lot of female dominated. So it's men in our family, but sometimes they just let stuff like they'll come at them incorrect and they'll just wipe it aside. I'm not doing it. I'm not that. Like you say something to be incorrect, I'm a check it. I'm gonna ask you what you mean by that.
Okay.
So sometimes they look at it like, oh, you being rude, but it's like, nah, no, some of these people in this family just henpeck and they don't stand up for it. So I ain't one of them. So you're gonna watch what you say to me, respectfully.
Respectfully in a nice, calm way, no violence. I love that. Okay, that was good. Okay, anybody have any questions? I have to go back and forth on Instagram because people are coming in on Instagram. If you have questions on Instagram, just leave it in the chat. Let's go to the next question. Unless you guys have something, right? What do you guys feel like is a difference between a career and a job? Because I feel like when we was younger, we had jobs. Like, we was working, these little jobs here and there. What do you feel like is the difference? What have you learned personally from having a job versus having a career?
Honestly, I think most people have jobs. I don't think most people have careers. A career to me is like a lawyer, a doctor. Those are careers to me, but most of us just have jobs, and it's okay to have a job. And it's okay to still trying to find a career because sometimes you might not want to do what you're doing for the rest of your life. You also have to think about the market. Like as you get older, you're going to want more money, and is what you're doing, can it be replaced? Can somebody else do it? But yeah, I think most people have jobs and not really that many have careers.
I think I agree with you. Go ahead, Keisha.
Yeah, Keisha, what you
I
about
was
to
gonna
say?
say, no, I actually wanted to hear what Naya had to say. Go ahead, Naya.
I wanted to ask you one thing, Keisha, because it was another question that you asked in regards to a job and a career. But I think it was about like what it would like the relationship between like what you get paid in a career or something like that.
Yeah.
What was that?
It was. I don't know what I said. What did I say just now? Whoa.
No, it was something that you had one of the questions you had sent us. But I agree. I agree with as in regards to like the career. Career is like kind of like a trade. Well, yeah, like a doctor, a lawyer, or even like a mechanic. Like if that's your career, that's your career. That's like the lane that you're in. If you're HVAC, that's the career that you're in. I think a job, like you said, is just kind of like a logistics or like when you're working for a company per se. Because with that, it's just like there's no like lane necessarily. It's kind of like you're
No
given a
progression. Like when you're like
right.
in a job, like it's like really no progression. Like there's no growth. Where a career you can progress and go from here to there to, you know what I mean? Like there's
Right.
progression
With a career,
in your
you kind of
field.
stay in the lane, but in that lane, there's a lot of branches off that you can
Right.
do. But the thing, it's also the difference though with a career though versus a job, because I don't knock nobody for a job per se, because a person with a job can make a lot more than a person with a career. Like having a career ain't all what it's cooped up to be. Because like even if I consider myself, I would say I have a career just because I'm in a lane. Like I'm in the veterinary field. That is my career. I work with animals. But in that field, in that veterinary field, if I got a job at Merck, I would make a lot more money in that pharmaceutical company than working in my career or working in my passion job, or something, or doing what I love. So I feel like it gets a little tricky at that point because people always want to do what they love. If you do what you love, you never work a day in your life type thing. But also, in a lot of cases, doing what you love is not going to get the job done at the end of the day.
Now
Doing
look
what
at
you love is not going to get the mortgage paid. It's not going to get that car note paid. It's just like, so again, you can't knock anybody with a job because a job pays. A lot of job pays well, but a lot of careers, you just get overworked, underpaid, and you get burnt out. So it's just like, do you want that career where you're going to get overworked and underpaid and burnt out? Or do you want that job where they're giving you a task, you do that task, and you get compensated for the task that you completed with commission?
Yeah. I think when I was originally this question, I was thinking about like just like when we were younger, how we wanted to check, right? The need for stability, the need to, how can I get paid? What can I get paid doing? And I think career, as you're getting older, you're thinking, well, these are the things I'm good at. These are the things that or these are the things I want to now pay me my money. Like that's what comes to mind. I also think of longevity. You may be in a job, a year or two, but like I think career is more like long term. I see myself here 5, 10 years, 15 years. And I feel like the job market, because our generation afraid to like, I got the experience, be here, I got my stuff, go to it's offering me way more for the same. Like we're not afraid to just pack up and shift if we need to. What y'all think about that?
Oh yeah, this young generation, I'm saying young like I'm old, but
What's that feedback? There's like a feedback happening. I think is it me?
yeah, I think this generation now, I think I'm still in it too. Like we don't really like we will bounce from one job to the next, like that. But I also think it's because we don't have kids and we don't have a family that we have to support. Um, because you would think twice before you're going to just bounce and go from here to there. You got mouths to feed and stuff to take care of. Whereas if you just taking care of yourself, you like, all right, I can figure it out.
I think I think the culture of work is different though. The thing is, before, jobs used to want you to stay there for 20 years. But now I feel like we're in an era of innovation. They everybody wants the next best thing. Like they're a lot of companies are firing people that worked there for 30 years because they want a perspective of a 21-year-old. They don't want your old ass at 60 doing what you've been doing for the last 30 years. It's cute, it was getting a job done, but I want the perspective of a 25-year-old because what if they can get the job done faster? What if they can offer all these new perspectives that we weren't looking at? So I just feel like, and I think because the workforce is getting so like hiring all these young people, the thing is just like there's no fear of getting another job. Like it's just like, all right, this is cool, but like even if I take myself for an example, just because of the field I'm in, honestly, if I wanted to leave my job tomorrow, it is not going to be hard for me to find another job. And that could just be because of the field that I'm in. But people, they always hiring. Like they always want help. They always want the next best thing. They always want, somebody else that could probably get the job done faster or quicker, or skill. You got this amount of skill set versus this amount of skill set. So I feel like, and the thing is, there's no more pension. There's no more incentive to stay. Like, what am I stay here
Yeah,
for?
but I don't know. I don't know if
that.
companies don't want high turnover either. They don't want to keep hiring somebody and then somebody's leaving and they got to reteach somebody this and reteach somebody that. I don't think so. I just think it's the generation, like they're just, all right, well, I'm here for a year. I don't even think they're serious. Because I have a young audit staff and I'm supervising them, and it's just like they don't register in their mind. Like, and I be telling them, like, yo, bro, they're thinking about getting rid of you. Like, and it's still the switch doesn't like click for them because I think they're still home and they don't have no responsibility. So while you're home, you're just comfortable, like, all right, I just found a new job. Whereas if they were out on their own and there was real shit going on or real stuff in their life going on, then they would have to be an adult. But I think this young generation, they stay at home, so they don't have no responsibility. They don't care from one job to the next job, to the next. They're at home. You're not paying no rent. You don't got no kids. You're not. You know what I mean? It's just them. So I mean, that's just my opinion.
I feel like it's a balance. Because Naya is absolutely right as far as companies are not offering incentive. Like stay here for the 10-year mark, your IRA, and you know what I mean? Like the way they used to, because they want to stay in the company, grow in the company, and also retire in the company.
They used to have a union. They used to have all this stuff. Like, so now you was protected if anything happened. Like, it's no incentive. It's just like, I could work here for 30 years. I ain't gonna have no pension. I ain't gonna be a part of no union. It ain't gonna be nothing. Like, if somebody buy this company out, my ass is grass.
Nothing. Exactly. And I think that they think that younger people don't care about that, or maybe it's not as important. You got AI and they think AI gonna take over certain, depending on the job. But I think if the younger generation can feel like the companies don't care, because they feel that way, they're like, oh, I'm gonna do what I need to get and I'm out. Versus it was like, well, I need this job. This is the only way. I feel like the older generation kind of just had their mind stuck on, well, this is what I'm supposed to do. And I feel like now there's just a variety of things that people want to do, right? So now people have jobs. People, while they're working for Amazon, social media, they're figuring out there's different ways to get the bag. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, but it's not. I agree. Yeah, there's different ways, but I also just think they don't have no responsibility.
But I think you're talking about a small percentage of people. But speak for the young people that are actually out of the house, who are actually paying bills. I don't think those people, like, even if you take like young people that's working in the city, like they making money, they working, they're doing the things. But if another company wave 10 more thousand in front of their face, they out of there. Like, if there's no incentive to stay.
But they're not crossing. But they're not even thinking, okay, they're giving me 10 more thousand, right? But the commute is longer, right? The workload is the commute is longer. For me to get there, I'm paying more money. So you're really not even seeing that money, that 10 grand. That 10 becomes 5, right? Then by the time you get home, you're working a 12-hour day. By the time you get home, so they're giving you more, but you have to weigh out everything.
You do, but the
more money,
point
your
is,
commute time and what
but
you're
the
paying.
point is, there's no incentive to stay. That's the point. Like there's really no incentive to. It's just like
The incentive would be your family if you were out on your own paying bills. That's your incentive. I got real shit to do. That's the incentive. I can't just quit my job and go here because I gotta pay my.
But what if you're making that decision for your family? This is another job that's offering you 10 to 15 more thousand a year. So you're looking at it like, all right, this will benefit me and my family.
Right.
Well, yeah, but most of them are not, but they don't have family. That's why they're able to bounce like that.
But even with
they had that, they would
you're missing the point.
No, I don't think I'm missing. I don't think I'm missing the point. I just think that they don't have much responsibility to hold on. Forget the incentive of what's going on, the IRA pension. I don't even think these young people even know what a pension is. They're just worrying about how much they can make at the time being. They're not thinking about 30, 60 years, a 401k and all that. They ain't thinking about that shit.
But I feel like here's the thing. I want to address that. I feel like when people were getting jobs before, that was something they would present and explain to the person coming for the job. Like, hey, these are the great things out of the company. If you stay here, you'll get this, and this. You know what I mean? That's not happening. Let's read the comment. Who wants to read the comment? Can you guys see it on the screen?
Yeah, overall society suffers no more customer service. Bureaucracy runs rampant. Innovation needs diligence, thinking, and patience. New generation all running, going nowhere. There's no more hope, no more soul, no more families being built. Quick money don't last. They don't. But even with this content creation, right? Let's say you get a bag, right? And now you increase your lifestyle, right? That money isn't consistent. So yes, you got a bag and you up your living situation, but now you don't make that money anymore. So now how do you sustain this house that you went and bought, or this car that you bought? So that's what I'm saying. Like all that quick money, this looks good. Sometimes it don't always work out. Sometimes you could be living one good situation, go somewhere else, and it's hell. You got 15,000, but now your mental health is done. They're stressing you out now.
I don't think social media content creation is right. I don't think that. Just like I don't think for everyone. But the thing about entrepreneurship and content creation is that slow seasons and then there's the seasons where things pick up. If you're thinking long term, if you're thinking business wise, even when you make the most money, you know, like, yo, I gotta put this half of this or a portion of this to the side, because guess what? Until I come, my business is slow. I need to be able to eat.
I don't think people thinking like that. Like, what you're thinking is smart, but most people are not. They're just thinking about the money that they're getting, and they increase their lifestyle. Even like, let's just say right here, like you make, let's say you went from 70K to almost 110. The first thing you probably gonna do is probably get a new apartment or something. Like, let's get up out of here, let's get a bigger space or something. Right? You eventually, so now the money that you made or saved at 70, you don't increase it because now you increase your rent. Right? That's just human nature. What people do. The more money you make, the more bills we gonna tackle. So I mean, yeah, I just think I don't know what this young generation. I think they're lost. I think they're good now, but in the long run they're lost. They never sustain any stability. They don't know what it is to work hard. They don't know what it is to work their way up the ladder, wait their turn. It's like, all right, whatever. And as long as they're home and daddy and mommy is comforting them, they will never get a taste of the real world and the real responsibility.
So do you think a little bit?
I see it in my little brother.
Do you think that the parents have a part to play in this? Because it's not doing this out of nowhere. Right?
Yes, I think the parents do too. I blame my father. Like, my brothers be on the damn game, the damn 3 o'clock in the morning and sleep the next day till about 3.
Wait, I'm hearing feedback. Do y'all hear that?
I mean, a little bit, but it's not that bad.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. So you blame the parents. But the parents was with an
Yeah.
not your dad that just raising the
You said what?
it's not just your dad raising the brother, so it's the parent in general.
Yeah, I mean, when I say that, I mean, yeah, mother and father, parents. I'm sorry.
What you think, Naya?
I think we coddled them too much.
I think that plays a part in it, but again, I don't necessarily believe that S likes to say the majority. I don't
Right.
necessarily the majority of young people are the people that he's talking about, and particularly the ones that are living at home and has no responsibility. And I truly do think it's just the culture of the workspace just these days. Like I just feel like again, there's no incentives, and again, companies are always kind of just trying to get like the best thing. And like, because the thing is, it just doesn't make any sense to me if you have somebody that's on your staff for 25 years who's proven themselves to be a diligent worker, who gets their jobs done, complete all their tasks, and you'll go on a whole frenzy of laying people off and buying them out just to get them out the company, just to hire someone young. It's like, what's the point?
Because you can price yourself out the market. When you've been there 30 years and you have the knowledge, you don't want more money. That's what I'm saying. Is what you do can it be replaced? Because I can get it cheaper. Why am I going to pay you? You've been here 30 years and now I got to give you a rate?
So that I feel like it's going again into my point, because if the companies is only worrying about themselves and if they could just get it cheaper, again, there's no incentive as an employee to stay there. Like just as easy as
the
it
younger
is for
person is staying there or the older person?
Huh?
Which one is staying there? The younger person?
I'm saying for a new person walking into the door. So like you said, say it's somebody that's been working there for 25 years and they gradually you have to keep giving them a payment. So now they're making 85,000 a year. And now, like you said, you can hire someone new who can still get the exact same job done, but start them out at 60. Right? So you fire your employee that's been working there for 25 years. You hire a new person that's working for 60,000. So now you've saved all this money because you don't have to pay that person $85,000 anymore. Right?
Thank you, Save.
In regards to that new person that just walked through the door, there's no incentive for that person to now stay there. So now you offer me $60,000 a year. Okay, I worked there 1 or 2 years. You maybe gave me a little pay bump here and here, but the mirroring company that's 5 blocks down the street, now they want to offer me 85. I have no reason to stay. Like I have no loyalty to this company. Like you're not worried about me just as much as I ain't worried about y'all. I'm out of here. Like there's nothing for me to stay. Whereby before, if you stay there long enough, you get all these extra benefits. You stay there long enough, you get a bigger pension, you get more into your 401k. You've been putting money it makes sense why you would want to stay, because it's like you've already started creating something. You've already started putting money in, setting money aside, getting the pension. You've already been kind of like investing into yourself in this company. So it's just like, although they want to offer me $10,000 more, like you said, now they're looking at the bigger picture because they already got all this money instilled into the company. The company's matching what they're putting into their retirement. They don't have that stuff like that is not offered anymore, is what I'm saying. So it's just like there's no incentive for anyone to stay. So I feel like that's why young people, I'm not speaking for the people that live at home, I'm talking about young people who are in their mid-20s, early 30s, peers of ours, when they're working, there's no reason why if I worked at this company for 2 years, it's like they literally gave me nothing to be like, this other company offered me this, but I already got a good thing going here, so I'm gonna stay. It's like the only good thing going I got is what y'all paying me, and if they're gonna pay me more, it's like I'm out of here. So I don't even think it's about being irresponsible. I think you're looking at it as, all right, this person's gonna offer me a little bit more. All right, see it. Don't want to be you.
See, I mean, I don't know. When I'm leaving the job, I don't look at just they're offering more. I'm looking at, okay, what the current workplace that I'm working at, is it benefiting me? Do I have good peers working next to me? Like, what is my role? Like, am I able to move freely? Like, all that comes in. It's just not about salary to me. Like, because you
I
could
get
go
what
leave
you're saying.
somewhere to make more and be in hell.
Yeah. What you're saying.
So I think it's more than just salary. It's like, all right, what do I have? I got something going good here. Like, I'm able to leave. If I need to go get my kid or something, I'm able to go where I go to the company. They clocking me every damn move. I can't go get my kid at 2:30 and my manager's like, hey, go ahead. You know what I mean? So I think all that comes into play. It's just not about salary and the workplace environment.
But you're looking at it from a mature point of view. I'm
Huh?
saying, I said you're looking at it from a mature point of view.
Right. That's what an adult should be looking at.
But I'm speaking for
Yeah.
Immature.
you may be looking at it from a mature standpoint. When you 25, you're not thinking about all these details. You thinking about getting to the money.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. Because you're thinking about just getting to the money because you don't really have anything to worry about. You're still at home. At most people at 25 are still at home. In this economy, most people at 25, they're barely, even the ones who are barely making it. So at 25, you're still at home trying to figure life out. That would be foolish for you to come right out of school and go get an apartment. You really got a job.
Well, some of them have jobs, right? Like that's how he's trying to say. Like, some of them have the job, they're just not paying enough. They're willing to just
Yeah, but where they stand at, I think that is a big, like, when you got bills, you don't care about those. You got to get it done. When you got that landlord need his rent, they don't want to hear about, oh, I'm switching, I'm in between jobs. I didn't like it then. They're offering me $15,000. You got to wait, landlord. You're like, hell no, I need my money.
Yeah, but okay.
I think the responsibility has decreased.
I think you guys are making we're gonna move on.
I think we both.
I think when we do part two, we can bring with actual saying all these things. Let's research going on. So the next question let's go into how do you handle burnout and find joy in what you do? So you have the job for a couple years. It's natural for burnout. It's natural for you and you love something and then you kind of just get in this weird point where it's like
Breaking up. Hey, Naya, is she breaking up? You can
is
hear
it
her clear. She's kind of breaking up on mine.
I can hear.
as you gotta fix your audio. Pull up the computer or something. The audio.
So what's the question? How do you handle burnout and what else?
Yeah. How do you hear that?
Talk, Keisha.
Okay. How do you handle burnout? Let me see the second part of the question. How do you handle burnout and find joy in what you do?
This is a good question for me, just because in my line of work, burnout is very big, very, very big. Not to get dark, but veterinary medicine is probably one of the top careers with the highest suicide rate. Yeah. So outside of the doctors, the technicians, the nurses, everyone experiences burnout at some point in this field, just because, again, the veterinary field is not that lucrative in regards to how much you're working. Like your compensation isn't nearly as much as what you would think, especially that of if you compare yourself to just human medicine, because it's like it kind of feels like a slap in the face, because like we're essentially doing the same thing. It's just you're working with the person and I'm working with the dog, but the knowledge or the education or the skill set all remains the same. Like, if you got to get blood from a human, you got to get a blood from a dog. If you got to take an X-ray on a human, you still got to do the same thing. Like the care is very similar, and I feel like in this field particularly, burnout is very, very high, especially amongst like the technicians, the nurses, because even if you kind of look at human nurses, how the rate of burnout with them is very high because you're getting a numerous amount of patients. There's not enough staff, there's not enough nurses, there's not enough assistants, there's not enough technicians. And so then you get placed with the task of doing the job of 10 men. And I feel like in my previous job, I felt like I did experience burnout. And I mean, you know, I've told you about my past experience, but I feel like I did experience burnout because I literally was doing the job of 10 men. And when you look at the amount of work you're doing, the amount of hours you're putting in, and it's just like at the end of the day, it's just like, yes, I'm doing what I love, but it's just like, but at what cost? Like it's getting kind of overwhelming. So I think that especially with compensation as well, like you're doing all this work, you're putting all these hours, and then it's just like at the end of that 2 weeks, it's just like, what, this is it? This is all I had to show for, like all this work I was doing, and it's just like it amounted to this. And most of the time it's not sufficient. But I think in my new job, or with any job, I just think, especially in the medical field, because I think as well as animal veterinary medicine and human medicine, doctors, anybody, they gonna use and abuse you until you drop. They gonna squeeze you like a lemon to ain't nothing, ain't no more juice coming out. They gonna keep squeezing and squeezing and squeezing so every little drop is out. And I just think, again, you just have to set healthy boundaries. You have to be okay with saying no. And yeah, you just got to set those boundaries, because the thing is, again, they're going to use you as much as you allow them to. And I saw some girl on TikTok. She was saying like she worked like in a corporate company, and she was saying like, never work too hard. Like, work hard enough, but never work too hard. Because the thing is, when you work too hard, that's going to be your norm. That's going to be the expectation. So when you came into the job here, and you're an overachiever, you're a hard worker, you're diligent. So now you're aiming for here. Now your normal is here. So now you doing the most. That's normal to your employers. So now they're expecting more, because now this is now your normal. Now they're expecting you to go higher, whereby you should have stayed here. If you work hard enough, they're going to be satisfied with what you're doing, and they're not going to have odd expectations of you doing the most. Because it's like, doing the most, I should be compensated for. Me doing the most shouldn't be the norm. Because then that's how you get burnt out. Because you plateaued at doing the most. Now it's just like, I don't have nothing left to give.
Facts.
So.
That's really cool. I was gonna say, as you could definitely speak, I'm just gonna say,
Now, guys, you got this. I never really. I'm just keep it short. I mean, burnout. I don't think I really. Only time I had like a burnout when I was trying to do 2 remote jobs.
yeah, that sounds like a
Then I
burnout.
had to let one go. I was like, yeah, you like. Hey, listen, I love them checks when they was hitting, but I couldn't sleep, and it was bad.
That's
But other than
burnout.
that, I never really experienced like a real burnout. Like, I don't let um I leave work at work, and I deal with the rest. But other than that, I never really had a job like really burn me out. Other than try to work 2 remote jobs.
Yeah, I think with anything in life, too much of anything is not right. Is not good. Like, you think of someone who just kind of is burnt out. In most cases, is because they're doing too much, right, or they're doing the most. And I know that in just in jobs in general, they have positions for certain things, right? It's when you start doing your job plus someone else's, burnout is going to kick. Okay. Okay. So I think remembering what your role in completing that role. Me, even as I'm right now, I'm realizing like I don't have to do all the things. This is why I was burnt out, right? I have people who are excelling in this or that I can then delegate. So you got to think about that too when you're working the job, right? Like you have a specific role, and for the other things that need to get done, they have roles for that. And if they don't, they should be creating them, right? So just keeping that in mind. Just do your role. That's literally what I feel like.
Bill says, like, don't work too hard. Like,
Right.
Meet your expectations.
Right.
Don't give the extra notch, because then, like, again, they're gonna now think, oh, you could do 3 tasks at the same time. Okay, cool.
That is so true. Instead of them, people who are not doing the bare minimum, giving them more, they're giving you going above the bare minimum. Now you're doing yours, right? Versus them
Compensated for doing the most.
Right. We have some comments on Instagram. It says, yeah, government employees are underpaid. Yeah, there's a lot of fields that have that. Caribbean lifestyle guys said that's true. Do your job well and don't overdo it. I think we all agree. All right, let's go to the next question. Do you guys want a family question, family relationship questions, or personal? I don't know if we did personal growth.
I'm giving no relationship.
We not, even though you did go into, but you did go into relationship.
I did?
Low key, high key, you did. Didn't he say he didn't want to talk about?
Oh, you talking about like you talking about like needing a wife or a husband?
Yeah, you went there. You went there.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't think I went too far, but it's just the truth.
Yeah. Or how do men go about getting a wife?
You know what I realized? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think in order for you to really find your wife, you have to be in your purpose, right? Because if you don't know your purpose, then what is the woman's role going to be in your life? You know, like I'm reading the Bible. Adam had a purpose before Eve even got here. So what is it? What is the woman going to multiply? What do you have that's going to multiply? And I think until I'm starting to really see, like, am I in my purpose? I don't think so. And if I'm not, I don't want a wife. I'm not in it. What is she gonna multiply? What's the reason? You know, so I think you got to find a man has to get back in the Garden of Eden, find his purpose, and then find a wife. I think we're doing too much trying to mix and tangle with each other, and we don't even know what we want to do. Our God-given purposes on this earth, and that relationship and marriage should not only reflect your desires, but God's desires as well.
That's good. You're on mute. I don't know if you're still talking. But that I agree with that completely. I think some of the best relationships, even just outside of relationships, right? Some of the best people that I have found that are in my life is when I was in purpose. And I feel like God has blessed me with amazing people in my opinion that I don't even really like. The person that I used to be, I definitely didn't deserve, but the place I am now, God is good, right? But I just have met the most amazing people, and it was when I was in purpose, right? And I feel like meeting them added to my purpose, or like kind of pushed me more into that direction. Like they saw what I kind of saw in me, but like they really, they pulled those things out of me. And I think, like you said,
Got a question.
oh,
yeah, got to finish up. Go ahead.
No, that's what I was gonna say. You cut me off, but
my bad. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you did want to talk about relationship today, but go ahead, continue.
No. I'm gonna just ask this one question. How does one find their purpose?
I think purpose varies in different seasons. So for me, and my purpose in one season was hooping, playing ball, but also like you know, coaching and giving back. Like, so after I played ball, I coached for a little while. So that for me, during that time in my life, that was my purpose. Like, okay, everything I learned, how I got confident, how I got better, it wasn't just for me. Now I'm coaching. Now I'm kind of giving back, right? And while I was coaching, I actually met one of my close friends now. So like, that's how I feel like. I feel like purpose can shift in different seasons, but you know it's purpose when it comes natural, like when it's easy for you, or when people are like, hey, like you're known for that. Like if you text 3 people right now, your top 3 people in your life right now, and ask them, you know, what do you think when you think of me? Think of the things, look at the things they say, and you can find your purpose within that. Does that make sense? Naya, help me if you
Yeah, I do. But I also think it comes with. I honestly think it comes with prayer and fasting. To really know, like,
I agree with that. Spiritually,
really,
yes.
yeah, to really know what does God have me on this earth to do? Seriously,
I think it makes sense
I
to
don't
go to
think, I think you can have an idea with the things that you like, but like, what do you got me on this earth to do? What is it?
I think you're right. I think I thought I knew what my purpose was at that time. That's why I say it can shift too, or maybe it's just me shifting until I fall in. I read a verse today, and it was like, "Many are the plans of a man, but it's God's, whatever God's plan is that's what established in your life. That's what ends up happening, right?" So I had a plan. I had a, whatever. But I think ultimately, like you said, like once you start to really seek God, and like you said, you could pray, you could fast, putting that devotional time, putting that separate time for God, when you start to make him a priority, then you can't run away from what the creator says you are. Like he already knows why he made you, and you figure it out once you get close. Once you get near, you're like, oh, this is why you have me on this earth. Like there's no denying why he created you once you start getting close to him. Like even this birthday was a really special birthday. Like for my birthday, I did something I'd never done before. I did like an event, it was a Queens and King mixer. And I really felt like I was in my purpose. I was like, oh damn, this makes sense. Like bringing people together, having deep, intimate, look at what I'm doing right now. Look what I'm doing right now, right? Bringing people together and just deep diving, having real conversations, but also encouraging people, right? I could be doing anything right now, but I value their opinion. I value the way they communicate, the way they think, and they navigate in life. And I see that in their real lives, they have fruit. Like they have good fruit out of their lives. So I could just be keeping Nia and S for myself. Like we have our conversations, we have our FaceTime calls, but I'm like, someone could be benefiting from this. Someone else needs to hear what S and Nia think, or how they navigate, and you know what I mean? And that, I think that comes from me being closer and closer with God, because I feel like I can't ignore what he's showing me or putting on me, if that makes sense. It makes sense because I said it. Okay. Yeah.
I think somebody said, what verse was that? I think that was
yeah, that's help.
Proverbs 19 and 21. Many are the plans in the mind of a man, but it's the purpose of the Lord that prevails.
Can we back check that? Can we pull the Bible out? Is that really
I checked it.
What you said it was?
Proverbs 19:21.
What do you think, Naya?
I agree with S. I feel like I feel like I am in my purpose. I think I have found a lane that I thrive in, and I feel like my purpose, is confirmed or validated through prayer, but also through my interactions with people. I feel like my interactions with people, like even in the workplace or just like relationships, I feel like my purpose, is validated in either what I brought to them unintentionally. I don't think much of myself in regards to, I don't think I'm the nicest. I don't think I'm I don't think
she being humble, y'all. She being real humble. Okay.
really don't. I feel like my personality is really down to earth in a sense that I don't think the most of myself in any regard, but I feel like I get validated with with just interactions with people, like what if it was something that I said, if it was something that I did that, you know, either inspired them or, you know, enlightened them to something, or the value, like just my opinion being valued, um or you're crazy, or like even in the workplace, like even just my employer like validating me at work, just I don't know, like even like my current boss, like he validates me a lot in just in regards to things that I do at work, just skill wise, and just always expressing how grateful or thankful that I'm there. Even with my past employer, even though, you know, it wasn't, I mean, we had a pretty decent relationship, but
Yeah.
if I go back to like my wedding, like just so many like nice things or so many positive things to say about me. And this is somebody that I literally seen day in and day out, 6 days out the week. So he probably seen me more than anybody aside from my mother.
Yeah.
So I felt validated with my purpose in, you know, just my relationships with people, and just kind of like what their perception of me is, or to them in their life, or like how have I ever benefited them, or not say benefited, but just
Show up. How you
yeah.
show up. You're literally how you show up in the people's lives that you're in itself is very powerful. I don't even
And
think you realize.
like it's very spiritual. I think animals are very spiritual beings.
Oh my God, here she go with her animals.
It, really- it really is.
Listen.
And I also think I just think it's ironic that that was the route I chose.
Mhm.
You know, with animals versus working with people. So
But you do have a presence with people. Like that's when you're saying that. Like I'm like Naya, you understand your impact. Like you're the only person I live with besides like family that has like lived with me, like saw me, like okay, whatever. You know what I mean? So I really feel like with you, it's like what you see is what you get, and what you see is like it's like pure, it's genuine. Like when you love on your people and you meet them, you really love on them. Like, you really show up in that way, and I think that that is not only rare when you encounter it, you're like, okay, like you're like, dang, like I want to keep this with me. Like this is my friend. Like I feel like that's purpose in itself. Not a lot of people can do that. You know, they can't show up genuinely as themselves, or they don't know how to, or you know, they don't always have like their intent isn't always just as it is. And I think you always say that you move with logic too. Like the way you think is a little different than I would say even most girls that I know. So
It's very sober.
what? What you say?
he said you sober minded.
I say it's very, very sober and thought out.
Yeah.
Opposed to what, drunk? What are you trying to say?
No, it's like clear minded.
Oh,
So S was right in that. I love this conversation, S. I know you didn't want to go in this direction, but I think that it's needed and it's important. And I think your perspective is a great perspective. Um, so the verse that you said was Proverbs 19, verse 21. I'm reading the AMP version. It says, "Many plans are in a man's mind, but it's the Lord's purpose for that will stand and be carried out." So y'all heard it here first. Maybe not first. You guys probably have heard that verse before. Um, but I think just based off my life, I can't speak for everyone in the world, but I had my plans in my mind. I had everything. It's time for this. It's time for that. And literally, it's God's will that worked out. And I think His will is ultimately what was the best for me. Like, I don't have no regrets. I don't have no man. I should have did this. Could have did this. I feel like where I where I knew God was leading me, it always worked out for my good. Even if it was messy, it was brought depression. Even if I had to start taking therapy, everything worked out for sure. And it's going to continue to. Do we have any final thoughts, guys? This is the longest. Everybody always love when y'all come on. So, Mikasa Sukasa, y'all. I should have had S and Naya on here earlier. Our next time we're meeting is on Thursday next week.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt you. How does where everybody watching us at? I only see like 2 people.
YouTube. So the replay, it stays on YouTube. So if you go to our video and on Instagram too, we're live on Instagram.
So how many people are watching this? I didn't see.
So when we get off, you're gonna see how many people was viewing, and then the next day you get to see people watching the replay. So the last time we met and did a live stream, it was last year. That was the last time we did it. We didn't do it as many times as we did last year. So the most viewed live stream from last year when I did KEISHUARY is with you and Naya.
So basically what you're telling me is that you owe me and
God.
Naya a check. That's what I'm hearing right now. If I'm not
listen, I told S and Naya we need to have a YouTube, not a YouTube, a podcast.
Feel there's some dividends.
But listen.
So
Had I not invited y'all up here, listen. The check is coming in the mail. Just look out for the check in the mail. Okay? Look at the But shout out to the 2 people who are in here watching. Anybody who's gonna watch the replay. I think this was a great conversation. I don't know about you guys, but I've been watching podcasts and conversations all the time. This was supposed to be an hour or less, but the conversation was really good. Do you guys have any comments in the chat? Anything you want to see next week? Just drop it down in the comments. I will have S and I here on Thursday. I'm gonna try to get them here on Tuesday. Let's see what these guys are giving.
Yeah, Tuesday. I'm not gonna be able to do Tuesday. Nah, because I got a young boy. I think I'm gonna watch him play. He's gonna play in New York. And this game is Tuesday.
Okay, that's all right. You got them on Thursday. That's gonna be the last Thursday of KEISHUARY. This is the last next week, the last week of the stream. That's just making up stuff, y'all. But next week we'll definitely have guests come up with us too, and just have a little powwow. Let's have a little powwow. You guys have anything you want to say before we leave?
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, man. Follow my IG, man. I'm gonna give y'all my Cash App. It's Spalding_101. If y'all want to make any donations, if it's on your heart, God put it on your heart to make a couple of donations, man. Go ahead and bless that Cash App, man. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all.
Yeah, that's all.
This is KEISHUARY. If you send any Cash Apps, let that go to Queen Snow 1 Cash App.
That's what. Where can I drop it at?
Y'all be blessed.
We hanging up. We getting out of here. Now I gotta go. We will see you guys next week, Thursday, same time, same place. Join me tomorrow. Happy Friday, happy Thursday. Have a great week, y'all. Bye.